note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another live stream with me, Grizzly. This is Grizzly True Crime, and today we are here to discuss Gabby Petito's case. I see there's lots of OGs in chat, original Grizzlies as we say, that were here from the very beginning when we discussed Gabby's case, when she was a missing person, and we were so hoping that she would be found, even though her boyfriend returned home with her van and lawyered up. Wow, so that was Gabby Petito was reported missing on September 11th of 2021. And she was last seen on August 27th. It is believed that it's August 27th that she was murdered. And then her fiance or boyfriend, who she was living this van life with, and she was on a trip, you know, just so adventurous, curious, just full of life. They were on this trip together, right? So August 27th, last day she's seen alive. September 11th, she's reported missing because her parents realized that, whoa, like her van is back at his parents' house. He drove all the way from Wyoming to Florida in her van. And there's no sign of her, and her phone's been off since August 30th. Like, what? Yes. Sadly, on September, and thankfully though, on September 19th of 2021, her body was found. And it turns out her boyfriend strangled her. This is a case that is one of those cases one could study for domestic violence and coercive control. You know, from how the Moab police handled the traffic stop on August 12th that we all got to see, to how everything unfolded. And if you didn't know, on October 20th, they found the boyfriend or fiance's remains close to his parents' house at the Myakkahatchee Creek, at that preserve. This is the Colton Preserve, I think is what it's actually called, the location exactly where he was found. And he had a self-inflicted gunshot wound, so he took the coward's way out, of course. His mental health wasn't great, of course not. I mean, it goes without saying, but from these documents, this is the latest report from the FBI. What I find interesting is it says, Brian Laundrie, Part 1, PDF. Oh, okay, is there going to be a Part 2, 3, 4, 5? Are there more parts that we're going to see eventually, or is this it? I don't know. So we're going to look at this today. I've brought you, if you did follow the Madeline Soto case with me, especially recently, the way that I've highlighted certain parts for you is what we're going to do today, because it's a 366-page document. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm here to give you all the information that we can draw from these documents, okay, instead of like scrolling through every single page together. Rainy May, you said Gabby Petito is when I started following you, G. Love the sensitivity you give to the victim and their families. Thank you for all you do. And sending so much love to Gabby Petito's family and friends. It's so nice to see them all united. Man, my heart goes out to them. And they've got the Gabby Petito Foundation, and they are raising awareness for missing persons cases, particularly people of color, as well as domestic violence. So that's fantastic. So I'll show you the website as well. Girls Nana said, thank you so very much for keeping us updated. Also to Webb Weaver, who's here today, happy birthday to you. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. And to all the dads, all the dads in chat, happy Father's Day to you. I hope that you're having a great day as well. I just quickly want to show you something before we dive into this, so just give me 1 second. I want to show you, this is Laura Richards' website. She is an expert. She's got so many credentials. I can't even name them all in one sentence here. She has got a website called crimeanalyst.com. Okay, and her YouTube channel is also called Crime Analyst. Now, this is just an example. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she has 15 episodes deep diving the Gabby Petito case. And it's the best I've ever heard on this case. It is like the ultimate deep dive. It's unraveling everything to do with domestic violence, coercive control, every minute of this case and every document that came out. So if you want to go check that out, I will link it for you afterwards as well. If you do go subscribe to Laura Richards on YouTube, say that you're a Grizzly. That's always nice to see when Grizzlies are like, I'm here. So yes, and she's also got courses on her website, thelaurariches.com, it's called the Dash Risk Model for Domestic Violence, Harassment, Stalking, Coercive Control, and all of that. Amy, thanks for being a member for 14 months. You said, we miss and love you, Gabs, and the dumpster kitty behind SOW that we used to feed lives with me and my grandson now. Thank you so much, Amy Beck. Yes. Dr. Bullbutter. I always like that name. He said, love to all my Grizzly peeps. Love to all of you. Sheila said, whose channel? Laura Richards. The channel's called Crime Analyst. Okay? So don't worry. It'll all be linked for you afterwards. I'll just quickly want to show you like this. Let's see if we could put it here. There. crimeanalyst.com is the website. Okay? So you guys have got to go listen to this if you haven't yet. It's really great. Okay, so we've got that. Now let me pull up this document for you. Of course, we could do a full recap of the case, but we've done it quite a few times already, and I have a full playlist on this case, so I hope you'll go check that out if you're not familiar with it. The full playlist is linked for you in the description box. All right, now, welcome to all my moderators. Thank you so much for everything you do. Welcome to all my members, patrons, subscribers, anyone that's new here as well, family and friends of Gabby Petito. Everybody, welcome. Thank you for being here on this Sunday as we explore this document released by the FBI on the FBI Vault. Pretty cool site, FBI Vault, okay. 366 pages of information, some that we hadn't heard before. So we're going to go through that. If you are a member, you know that we were kind of working our way through this in the last member stream, but it's a very lengthy document. We didn't get to finish it at all. We were just kind of looking at some of the things from when I immediately got the document. So if you didn't see that, or you're joining membership today, check out the members only playlist because you'll see it there. And then the last thing I want to say before we dive in is that I'm having a Patreon only stream right after the stream. So if you are on Patreon, which is $1 to sign up for, you can join us if you just check the email or the latest post that I made. It's got the link there. Okay, so right after the stream finishes, we're going to go and do a Patreon only stream and just chat about whatever. Many little cases or updates or behind the scenes or whatever it is. And you guys ask me questions, so we'll do that, okay? All right. Please remember to like and share. Hashtag Gabby Petito. Hashtag her light remains. That's what her parents also say, Gabby's light remains, and it absolutely does. What a beautiful, bright light Gabby Petito was. She was so young when she was murdered. 22. Oh my goodness. And hashtag DV awareness would also be helpful. Also, make sure you look in your own country for your domestic violence hotline. Save it on your phone. I know us in true crime, we all talk so much about DV and coercive control. You might be like, yeah, we know it. But others don't know it. So make sure you teach it to whoever, right? Teenagers, people family, friends, whoever. Maybe they don't know how to get out of a situation. And remember to teach people the DV distress signal, which goes like this. You could use any hand like this. Okay, so basically you just put your thumb like this and like that. If you see anyone doing that, they might even do it behind their back quickly like that, right? I know you couldn't see that, but you know what I mean? It could save a life. If you see that, call the police. They're asking for intervention. They are saying either they're abducted or this is a domestic violence aggressor or something, but they need help urgently, okay? So call the police. You might even see someone in a car and you're looking and they're like, that's a DV distress signal. Okay, so here we go with the document. Let me make this a little bit bigger, actually. I think I can zoom in. Wait. Take the highlighter away. Stop it. No. There we go. Okay. This should be better. And I can also, of course, zoom in like this. I've got a picture of Gabby up there as well for us. Shame. All right, so we're on page 2 now. Got my notes here so we can make sure that we are just sticking to the highlights. So on page 2 is really where this document starts because page 1 looks like this. It's just a whole lot, right? Sean says Gabby would be 25 if she were alive today. Shame, man. Okay, so here they say Brian Laundrie's subject, Gabrielle Petito. Her full name was Gabrielle, Petito. Victim, crime on government reservation, crime of violence, missing person, Gabby Petito, right? Rose says, I taught the DV sign to my friend and it saved her. Oh my goodness. If you have any information like that you want to share, please email me. I like stories like that. People often email me things that I'm never going to share publicly, but I really appreciate those stories. Okay. So on September 14th, that would be, Gabby was reported missing by her mom on September 11th officially. I started covering the case on September 17th. I'll never forget it. It was like seeing Brian Enton out there every day, wondering where Gabby was, like what happened here, knowing her van was brought back to Florida and she wasn't there. It was like, oh my goodness. And it brought many of us together. So September 14th, writer was contacted by the FBI New York, Long Island RA in reference to a missing person, Gabrielle Petito, date of birth 03/19/1999. From case. Petito was last heard from on August 27th of 2021 and was known to be in the area of Teton National Park in Wyoming with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. So as I say again, they were doing this van life adventure. They'd converted a van, a white van, a Ford, right? 2012 Ford, was it an F-350? A Ford into a beautiful van. I mean, Gabby decorated it so nicely with like special touches, little plants and little butterflies and little things to really make it homey for this trip. And it was actually not the first trip they'd been on, because some people speculate, whoa, like, is it because, I don't know, was Brian Laundrie a ticking time bomb? Yes, I think so. But this was not their first trip in a confined space. They'd already been on one. And if you've ever watched her YouTube video, the only one she ever got to make it put up because she wanted to be on social media and share all their travels and everything. If you've never seen that video, check it out. But it's a mix of the first trip and this trip, right? And they left in around June, July of 2021. So they were going to go to all the national parks and just camp out and everything, right? Okay, so she was last heard from on August 27th. And remember the weird message that came from her phone to her mom saying, hey, can you help Stan? Keep getting missed calls, and that would be her grandfather's name, and that's when her mother was already like, what the hell is going on here, right? Okay, so they said surveillance video seen by Jackson Police Department showed Petito and Laundrie leave the area of Jackson, Wyoming, around 1500 hours on August 27th, 2021, in the white Ford van, Florida license plate QFTG031, or just 03. Agents also learned that Petito used an app called The Dirt to review campsite reservations for the night of August 27th of 2021, which was at that Spread Creek dispersed camp. Do you remember it? Do you remember the map time? We did a lot of it. It's all on the playlist there. I do have the map ready as well if we do need to look at it a bit. So, at the time I actually signed up to that Dirt app so we could analyze everything because we were all wondering where Gabby was, right? Oh man, it just broke my heart every time when I got like updates from the Dirt app, like, ooh, have you checked out this or have you seen that? And I'm like, shame, like after the case, So they say, which is inside the boundaries of the Bridger-Teton National Forest. This is a known dispersed campsite area. This was the last location, the known location for Petito's phone at the time of the case opening. Preliminary reviews of a return search warrant data for Laundrie's phone obtained by Northport, Florida PD indicates that Laundrie did not leave Wyoming until August 30th of 2021. That is so creepy still. So if you remember it at all, if we look at the timeline, he murdered her at some point on August 27th in the evening, sort of in between afternoon, evening, maybe early morning hours of August 28th. And then he took off on a hike by himself all along that Snake River, and then he actually hitchhiked and got a ride back to the campsite, got in Gabby's van and left. He left her body out there in the wild, just like that, just lying out there. What? Oh my word. And then he just drove home all the way to Florida from Wyoming in her van. The van was in her name. She worked many jobs to save up money so that she could buy that van for them to have this adventurous life. Mary Ann, thank you so much. She said, thank you so much for all you do, G. I don't understand how you could check out all these amazing sites while sliding down the rabbit holes, compiling notes from an 800-page document. Amazing. Well, it's full time, all the time. You could ask Mr. Grizzly, my husband. Yeah, no matter where we are, if we're sitting at the lake, if we're sitting, I don't know where, at the observation deck at the airport or wherever, I'm always reading documents on my phone. So I guess that's how I do it and taking notes. I've always got notebooks and stationery and things everywhere. Thank you so much for your support. So my goal with this channel is to share information that can hopefully help save lives. That's my number one goal. And to be there for victims and their families, especially their families, because the internet is a very scary place, right? Especially in cases where there's missing persons or if their loved one was murdered. Whew, it can become very scary. So I hope that they feel safe here with us. Okay, so preliminary reviews of a return search warrant for Laundrie's phone obtained by Northport says he didn't leave until October 30th. This guy. This includes multiple areas of federal land. The New York tip line received a call from a couple who had positively identified Laundrie on August 29th. Now, we heard about this and we'd covered this. And there were TikTokers talking about it. And, some people came forward and said, I gave him a ride. And they explained his behavior and how he was just giving out a whole bunch of cash to get that ride back to the campsite, but wouldn't let them go near to where the van was parked. Just drop me off here at the gate. Thank you. We're good. So now we see it in writing. The New York tip line received a call from a couple who had positively identified Laundrie on August 29th of 2021. The couple had stopped to pick up a hitchhiker, later identified as Laundrie, at the Coulter Bay Visitor Center inside of Grand Teton National Park. The couple gave Laundrie a ride to Morin Junction, approximately 10 miles southeast of Coulter Bay Visitor Center. During the drive, Laundrie told the couple that he'd been on a hike alone for 4 days, which at that point would not be true. There's already a lie there. But for 4 days, and he needed a ride back to his fiancée and their van. There were others that worked at an ice cream shop that said that they encountered Gabby and Brian walking into the store there, which was a few days before she was murdered. And it wasn't confirmed that it was them, but it sounded an awful lot like it was them. And everyone recognizes Gabby's tattoo, which says "Let It Be," which her whole family also has now. They all got the same tattoos that she had. Shame, man. Her mom, her dad, stepmom, stepdad all have the "Let It Be" tattoo, and the other ones as well. But a lot of witnesses remember her tattoo. And so that at that ice cream shop, they remember seeing allegedly Brian, say like, "Fiance, I'm your fiance." Like, tell them you're engaged. Like, really trying to insist that she tells the world, yeah, okay, we're engaged. Meanwhile, I think she wanted to get away from him at that point, especially after the Moab traffic stop incident where there was domestic violence spotted by witnesses who called it in, and therefore the Moab police followed them and responded. Remember that? Shame, they handled that very badly. There's lawsuits around that as well. Anywho, so to continue on, there's a lot we could talk about. I'm trying not to go off on tangents. So they said the New York tip line got this, and they gave Laundrie a ride. When they reached Morin Junction, Laundrie told the couple to stop, and he exited the vehicle because they were going the wrong way. Yeah, he was just trying to be sneaky. On August 30th of 2021, financial data showed Laundrie using a gas pump at the Maverick gas station located at 1604 West Main Street, Riverton, Wyoming. Sergeant redacted of the Riverton Police Department responded to the Maverick gas station and to a business in the area to review surveillance video. Now, all along the way home from Wyoming all the way to Florida, it's like a long-ass trip, they have surveillance, and we wondered about that. At the time, they were saying they were collecting surveillance. Well, in this document, they say they collected surveillance footage of Brian Laundrie and Gabby's van all along the way. Buying gas, buying pizza, stuff like that. I think he only stopped once to buy pizza. The rest of the time was just stopping for gas quickly. Someone's putting in $28 of gas, someone's $10, little bit at a time. And of course, using Gabby Petito's card, which is what he was initially charged with when they had an arrest warrant for him. He wasn't charged with murder or kidnapping at the time when he was missing, aka on the run. He was charged with using her card without consent, right? Okay. Thank you, Beach Bum. You said, I agree, Grizzly to Crime has done a lot of good. Objection Cake, chat's super supportive here, and I get a lot of comfort from chatting with you all. Yes, we're all here together. Thank you so much all for being here. So then they said, I just want to see which page I'm on. Page 3. Okay, that's still fine. Page 2, 3, and 4 we're going to do. On October 30th, yes, that was when Brian Laundrie was already making his way home, so that matches what they say. He was in the area till the 30th and then headed out of there. They said Petito, so Laundrie gets back in the van and leaves the area. Petito is not observed in the surveillance video to be inside the van. Video surveillance was also obtained from multiple other gas stations that Laundrie stopped at between Wyoming and his residence, his mama's house in Florida. None of the surveillance videos seen by investigators at the time of the case opening showed Petito in or near the van with Laundrie. Obviously, because he left at the time, they didn't know that, but he left her body just out there, exposed to the elements. So disrespectful, so horrendous after murdering her. Okay, on September 14th, that's 3 days after Gabby was reported missing, investigators obtained a search warrant for the white Ford van used by Laundrie and Petito. The subsequent search revealed Petito's personal belongings were missing, as well as the mattress from the van. Now, they don't talk about this mattress being in the Laundrie home. I know initially they said that the Laundries had the van like in their driveway, and I think at some point they tried to pull it into the garage, and that it seemed like they took things out of the van and put it in Brian Laundrie's room. But they talk about this whole time in this document, this missing mattress. They say, seen in previously posted YouTube videos by Petito. Now, I still want to know where's the mattress? And did they ever find Gabby's phone and Brian's phone? Because I know that was a big topic at the time. There was somebody, it was Doug from Northport, Florida. You guys remember Doug from Northport, Florida? He was attacked by another YouTuber. Remember that? Oh my word. That he's lived like 9 lives. He's survived so much. Oh my goodness. Now, Doug had seen what he believed to be Brian Laundrie and the van idling at some place in nature close to home, but far enough away that it's like, that was dodgy. What was he doing there? The day before, he actually pulled into his parents' house, and he was out there with a metal detector looking for the phones. He didn't find it. I just wonder, there are phones listed in what they found in the vehicle. I just don't know if it's Gabby's phone, if they actually did get that. If anyone knows, let me know as well. Okay, so the mattress missing. At the time of the case opening, Laundrie would not speak to investigators. Yeah, he zipped it and lawyered up. Remember Steve Bertolino? A lot of this will be like flashbacks, like we're getting all the memories back, right? Bertolino, the lawyer, well, he's kind of like the front man. There was actually another lawyer, another attorney that he was working with for the for the Laundries. But Brian Laundrie was not speaking. His parents were like, zip it, we're getting you an attorney. And yes, they knew that Gabby was gone because Brian Laundrie called, if people are just listening and not watching, I did air quotes, gone, as in murdered, because Brian immediately called his mommy and said, Gabby's gone. I don't know what to do. And they're like, what the hell? Okay, we're calling an attorney. Yeah, that's the problem. Those parents, oh my word, they are the worst. I know some people defend them. I don't at all. I'm not in that camp at all. Stefan's like Bertolino. Dirty Bertolino. Don't sue me. Okay, don't sue me. I was just kidding. Okay, then. So, at the time of the opening, Laundrie would not speak to investigators in reference to the location of Petito. And neither would his parents. And her parents were just like, where is she? Like, where were you last at? Could you give us any information? All we're trying to do is find Gabby. And that was when Bertolino said, we hope that you reunite with Gabby, and made all these statements pretending as if she's still alive, when they all fully knew she's no longer alive. Now, remember, it was because of YouTubers, a YouTube channel called Red, White, and Bethune, who I actually haven't checked on in a while. I should check what they're up to. Are they still posting? Red, White, and Bethune, a family channel. They travel around and they have dash cam, right? They heard about this missing person case, and they checked their dash cam, and they realized on August 27th at the Spread Creek Dispersed Camp, they actually saw the van. Oh my word. So it's because of YouTubers calling it in that narrowed down the search for the investigators to go there. Go across that creek and find Gabby's body. So never underestimate the power of social media and all of us, coming together and sharing information. You just don't know who's going to call in those tips, who's going to be the break in the case. You just don't know. In this case, it was YouTubers. So they say, write a request to a case opening for kidnapping and murder. See, we didn't get to hear that as the public. But here they say for kidnapping and murder of Petito on federal lands. This was all sealed initially. So we were all wondering, why is this not like a murder case? Especially after they found her body, they still didn't say they're looking for a fugitive, Brian Laundrie, who's murdered or believed to, who allegedly murdered his fiance or girlfriend. They didn't say that. They were just looking for him, and they said he's missing. And Northport police in Florida thought that Roberta was actually Brian Laundrie when she came back home from the creek with the vehicle that he drove there with. Do you remember that? Oh my goodness. Okay, so now we go to page 8. So hold on. What do we have on page 8? Okay, I've highlighted things for you. So they say here that Gabby went quiet on all forms of social media. C1 reported, so probably caller 1, that on August 27th, she stated that she was with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, in Grand Teton National Park. The missing person's phone has been shut off since August 30th. Because remember that Brian actually kept Gabby's phone going and had texted his phone pretending to be her. He was so sick in the head. Oh my word. Whoa, like this guy was texting, pretending she's still alive. I don't even know. I wish we could see that. Why don't they put that in here? Like, can't we see what the hell he was trying to text, pretending to be her? That must be some scary stuff, right? Probably just like, oh, I need some space, or I'm just going to finish up the website, or I'm going to do some work, or whatever. And he's like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm going to go on a hike by myself. I don't even know. Okay, so there was really that her phone had been shut off since the 30th of August of 2021. There's been no activity on her phone in the last 10 days. Remember, he made her last Instagram post with a pumpkin saying Happy Halloween. That was scary. It was also believed that their trip was supposed to end at some like pumpkin farm, which is interesting. I heard that later, where they were going to volunteer or something like that, like live off grid and volunteer. I don't know. I think it's all his ideas. He was a very strange guy. I'm not saying people who do that are strange. I'm saying Brian Laundrie, in context, very creepy, strange guy. Okay, so we've looked at that. Now, hold on. We're going to go to page 9. Where is it? Where does it say why Brian flew home? Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Do you remember that on August 12th was this domestic disturbance where witnesses saw Gabby and Brian fighting outside of the Moonflower Co-op, where Kylan and Crystal worked, and they were murdered too. That was quite something. At a campsite where Brian and Gabby had also camped, but yet somebody else was charged with that murder, okay? And that guy also killed himself. So that's a whole story. If you didn't see that, I've covered that case at length as well. Now, on August 17th, Brian flew home. As in flew home to Florida to clear out storage. And then they interviewed his sister Cassie between the 17th and the 23rd. He went back on the 23rd. By the 27th, Gabby was dead, right? So now, when Cassie Laundrie, I don't think her surname's Laundrie anymore. When Cassie, his sister, who's much older than him, I think she said she's like 9 years older than him and they weren't that close. When she was interviewed, she said, oh, he always does that and she never finished her sentence. And we were all wondering when he needs space, when they fight, when he's like in his domestic violence aggressor mode, or what? When he has a meltdown, when he has mania, when he snaps. I don't know what the end of that sentence was, but here they tell us a little clue. Because we always thought there must have been a fight or something, and he left Gabby at a hotel in Salt Lake City, where she then called her dad and said, can you help me order a pizza? Her dad ordered her Domino's pizza. And she asked her dad for help to finish up her website, right? He was at home clearing out storage. Sure. Anyway, so they reported that Brian Laundrie was home at and had flown home after a fight with the missing person. PO of Northport Police informed ID that they were refusing to cooperate with the investigation and that MP, the missing person's van, a 2012 Ford, was currently in the driveway. That was a shocker. Right? That was such a shocker. Oh my goodness. Sean said it's so upsetting how poorly the Moab, Utah police handled the pullover. They cited Gabby as the aggressor and Brian as the victim and carried him off to a hotel. No, it's terrible. Hence I say, go listen to crime analyst Laura Richards' full breakdown of this case. It's incredible. She also breaks down every single thing because she trains police in how to handle domestic violence cases. That an aggressor will absolutely Darvo everything. Deny, attack, reverse victim offender, which is exactly what Brian Laundrie did, right? So, yes, you know what was sad? Is it turned out that one of those police officers that responded at the traffic stop on August 12th of 2021 was actually allegedly a domestic violence aggressor himself, according to his ex, in the past. And I'm like, whoa, well, that explains something. A lot of people also left there, got fired there, some got promoted. It's a lot. This case is a lot. Okay, so that was page 8 and page 9. Okay, so hold on. Now we're going to go to page 10 here, where they say on Saturday, September 11th, the Suffolk County Police Department, a detective contacted the FBI New York ops to provide associated information. I just want to say that it's always great when the police contact the FBI to say, listen, we need your help. Obviously, this would be across states. It would make sense, especially where Gabby last was with Brian. But it's always great when I'm just going to say it as a small note, when police agencies are able to put their egos aside, put their pride aside and say, FBI, we need your help. Because we've seen cases where they don't do that. Like Daniel Robinson's case, which happened around the same time. Yes. And David Robinson, who I still speak to all the time behind the scenes. He just won something. Wait. I will tell you now. He told me this the other day. So just hold on one second. If you haven't heard of Daniel Robinson's case, I have a full playlist for that as well. He said, I won my primary election. So he's running. I always get the words wrong. Just check it out on his X, right? He's running. I don't know if it's for senator or mayor or what the word is, but in his area, in South Carolina, right? Anyway, so Gabby Petito's parents and David Robinson are also very close. They've met at CrimeCon. They've spoken to each other. They've done interviews together. It's just amazing, right? Okay, so now if we go to page, this was here. Oh, I just pointed out Gabby's birthday here, 3/19, the 19th of March of 1999. Now we're going to go to page 27. Okay. So it says on September 14th, this writer received a telephone call from Special Agent Redacted, New York Division, Long Island Resident Agency. They advised the FBI had been asked to assist regarding missing person Gabby Petito and advised that Petito had traveled to Yellowstone National Park from the Tampa, Florida area with her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie. When Laundrie returned to the Tampa area, Petito was not with him. They stated that Petito's credit card had been used. I mean, the nerve of this guy. When you see some of the evidence that they collected from the van and from Brian Laundrie's room, there's like wads of cash or a wad of cash. It's a lot of cash. And he had apparently about $25,000 in his account, which his parents, that they fought for, they wanted that. They're like, we'd like his estate. We were like, what, to give to the Petito family? That would be nice after everything you didn't know. No, for themselves. They wanted for themselves. Anyway, but he was pretending the whole time like he had no money, even at the traffic stop. Anyway, he had the nerve to use Gabby Petito's card on his trip home in her van without her while he left her body out there. Yes, dirty laundries. You guys are like, dirty laundries. Mm-hmm. So I think that would be sort of alibi type stuff, right? To be like, look, she used a card. You see that? Yeah, she was buying something here, but she wasn't. This writer was familiar with the store and confirmed the address of the store was at West Main Street, Mont Eagle, Tennessee. They also said on August 31st at 1829, this is on 2021, at 1829, so 6:30 in the evening, an authorization was granted for Petito's credit card to be used at the above Circle K. I think that was the time he bought that pizza, right? My goodness. Let me just see what I'm missing quickly. Wanda said, what's the purple DV ribbon representing? Domestic violence awareness. That's what it's representing there, which is also why I share the sign as well. Objection Cake says, Grizzly, you'll likely never know you'll never know directly, but I am of the belief that you have 1000% saved at least one life, likely many. Thank you so much. I'm just quickly seeing messages that I missed. Adam said, this case still gets me as a van lifer. This one hits close to home. Unfortunately, there's a lot more Brian Laundrie types out there. Some people are better off doing van life alone. That is so sad, right? Oh my goodness. And Stefan said state congressman. I think you see, those are the right words. Thank you, Stefan. I think David Robinson is running for state congressman. I want to get it right. And congratulations to him for wait. We're going to get the words one more time. For winning his primary election. Okay, cool. So we'll follow that as well on social media. If you don't follow him there, he's on X, okay? I'm always reposting David Robinson stuff. So then, the credit card was used August 31st while he's making his crazy trip home. We analyzed his Spotify account as well. Do you remember that? I was going all in on Brian Laundrie's social media. Also Gabby's to find out like where is she, what did she last post, what is going on. Every word he wrote, all of the things. And then also his Spotify playlist because he made a playlist for his drive home and it was quite disturbing from what I remember. I don't know if it's still out there. It was linked at the time. So if you go to those episodes, maybe you'll find it there, right? Okay, so that's that page. So that was page 27. Now we're going to go to page 29. So they went, neither Petito nor Laundrie was observed inside the store. So they got video footage and they saw, neither of them's in the store. Okay, that was page 29. And then what? Page 35. Okay, page 35. Now some of these accounts might not be. It might not have been Gabby and Brian. So just take this now with a grain of salt. That's also what her family said. They were on Court TV recently in quite a long interview as well. And so there they said, some of these from what they've read, because they're still working through it. They're making their way through this document or working through it. They just said some of these that they read probably wasn't Gabby. For example, there was one witness that said that they saw what they believed to be Gabby and Brian on August 28th in the camping area, which is, they say, not possible because she would have already been deceased. So here they say male and female customer drive onto property at approximately 16:24 on August 24th of 2021. The male customer comes out and interacts with a person on the passenger side whom I believe is the female companion. After a few minutes, a male customer puts gas and then drives away from the fuel station, parks the white van onto store property on aisle 7. There's really nothing much that I could report on here. You know, here, I mean, they're saying, I have suspicions the female may be concealing merchandise as it appears the handbags are growing in size. See, I don't think that's Gabby. I don't know who this is, but they're just saying that they thought it could be them, right? Buying cucumbers and walking around, but there's really nothing much that I could report here. So now we're going to go to page 41, which her family also is not sure if this would be them because they'd never heard of two other males traveling with them. But this account says on 9/17, wait, that's 17. Oh, on 9, I'm like, wait, that's not possible. Okay, wait. On 9/17 at 15:53 hours, I received a phone call from Sergeant of the Box Elder. Wow, when I hear that, I just think of Dylan Rounds. Hey, the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office notifying him that a tip had been received in reference to the missing persons case 4. The tip came into the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office on 9/16/2021. They stated that a gas station attendant located in Corrine City, Utah, saw Gabby on the 27th of August. That's the last day that she was alive. 2021, along with her boyfriend and 2 other males. So this is interesting because we had never heard that, right? But I don't know if it's true or not. According to the reports and interviews, the individual perceived to be Gabby went into the gas station to ask for directions to Yellowstone, told the attendant they were going to camp in every national park, so that does sound like Gabby, right? Locked herself in the bathroom and was heard to be crying for a few moments. Sounds very plausible as well, based on how Brian Laundrie was treating her and controlling her and all of that, domestic violence. The gas station attendant says they think it was Gabby based off the tattoo that stated "Let It Be," which is very specific as well. Of course, Gabby's parents have said, her family has said, well, it could be people trying to like insert themselves in the case or something. They're just not sure. So we'll take it with a grain of salt, but that is what was reported there. So that was page 40. Now we're going to go to page 45. So they say on 9/15/2021, somebody called in to report that on August 27th, her co-worker spotted Gabby Petito at the gas pumps. I called and spoke with her on the phone briefly about what information she had. She told me that her co-workers, redacted and redacted, had on August 27th spoken with the individual named Gabby Petito outside at the gas pumps. I asked why she waited so long to report the information, and she told me that the pictures had been posted on Facebook and they noticed the tattoo that she had and spoke with her about it. But at the time, Gabby was not listed as a missing person yet. They just wanted to document the incident. Also told me she had called Florida to let them know the same information, but she was not able to contact anyone, but left a message. I asked them if they had asked Gabby where they were headed to, and she told me when they spoke with her, she was talking to them about going to Yellowstone, and that was all the information she had. I thanked her for calling in and gave her a case number and ended our conversation. I'll be passing this information on to detectives for information purposes. Okay, so we've got that. Thank you again all for being here. If you're only joining now, we are looking at this new document from the FBI. It's from the FBI vault. It says Brian Laundrie Part 1, so I'm still wondering if there's going to be more parts released or not. And it's 366 pages, and there's a lot of information in here that maybe we have not heard before, or that I just generally want to go over because we like to obviously study this case and learn from it. There's a lot of lessons to be learned here, and raising awareness for domestic violence and missing persons, and her family's doing such a great job every year at CrimeCon and with their foundation and everything as well. So there was that page. I just quickly want to see here. They say on Thursday, September 16th of 2021, I was informed of this tip case at the Corrine Sinclair service station. Sergeant redacted asked that I stop and check if there's any video surveillance of the date for August 27th of 2021. At 13:40 hours, I arrived and met somebody by the name of, and so they explained why they were there. Okay, and so they go a few minutes later, what walked in. Yes, I apologize for having to wait and thank me for checking on this. They also thanked me and stated this was crazy and sad. I asked them if they remember the day of August 27th, 2021 being a Friday. She stated, yes, I do, and I only work Fridays, and Fridays are the days that me and work together. She stated that she remembered because the girl was standing with her boyfriend when he asked for directions to Yellowstone, which is also kind of odd because they had so many phones and electronics with them. Maybe their phones went flat or something. I don't know. But like for him to be like, where is it? It's just a bit odd to me because you could just ask Uncle Google on the maps, right? But I don't know. Brian Laundrie's like asking for directions to Yellowstone. I asked what happened or what they could remember. They stated that she remembers the white van and when they 4 got out. She said it looked like, I don't know what this is, Yahoo's going to the spiral jetty. Whatever that sentence means. I then asked if there was more than Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie in the vehicle. She stated she was sure that there were 2 more males with them. I asked if she could remember for sure as she... I asked and she stated she could remember for sure as she loves the Beatles and the female had a tattoo on her arm that read, "Let It Be." She stated when she had seen the thing on the news, she was sick and thought that we should know. She stated that she thinks that they also paid with a credit card but was not sure. She remembered talking with the male, Brian, as they were asking for directions to Yellowstone. She stated that she gave the information from Highway, I think this is Highway 13, turn at the Bear River Valley Co-op, go through Bear River, and get on the I-15 north to Elwood. She stated she told them there will be signs from Pocatello, Idaho, on how to get there. She stated the girl Gabby was telling them they were camping in all the national parks from the East Coast to the West Coast, which also makes sense. She stated she remembered that also and stated that sounded fun. They then walked in, or whoever walked in and apologized, stated her dog had surgery, she was on medication, so that's just random information of this witness, right? She stated it was Friday, August 27th, 2021. She does not work Fridays, but covered a shift. She stated she remembers the girl and 2 males because the males were standing by the register on a phone and talking to each other. She stated that she had to go to the bathroom and went to the bathroom and it was locked, and stated the girl was in there crying for a few minutes and then left in the van. I asked if there was a way to see for sure if the group did pay with a credit card, and so here they're just asking for information and they didn't come back with anything from what I could see with credit card information, unfortunately. But I don't know if they did see them then or not. If you haven't ever, watched this case coverage with me, on the playlist we did see video footage of Gabby at a grocery store. That's the last known footage that we know of Gabby seen alive, where she was just walking around in there looking at things with Brian. And I've got it here if we do want to refer to it again, if we've got some time. I just want to make sure we get through this document as well. So that was page 47. Now we're going to page 54. Okay. So here they say on August 28th at 1:44 p.m., redacted stopped at Chevron gas station in Utah for gas. They were driving and observed a white female whom she identified as Gabby Petito from later released photos standing near a white van with a ladder on the back. August 28th, so that's not possible, right? They saw that the female was crying outside the van while the male pumped the gas, and they heard the male tell the female, "Time to go, let's go." But that's on August 28th of 2021, which would not be possible. That's what her dad was saying on the Court TV interview. Yes, Kerry said coercive controllers are very skilled in darvoing, that's deny, attack, reverse victim offenders. So they flip the script and pretend that they are the victim, and they're very manipulative and good at doing that and confuse the crap out of police that are not trained in how to handle domestic violence situations, right? Which is why Laura Richards and Sunny Slaughter, right? They all train the police on how to handle situations like that better. And so they will beg or say how they'll change, but they will not. Get out, plan, but don't tell them. Right? Okay, so that was page 54. Now we're going to go to page 56 just to show you a picture of the van. Brian Laundrie driving home in Gabby's van, heading towards home to his mother's house. Updating his little Spotify playlist. Oh, yes. And on a crazy drive home. Not stopping anywhere to sleep. Just driving home. Stopping for gas, but just going for it the whole way. From Wyoming to Florida. That's a long, long trip. Mrs. Melissa said it's so sad to think that she would have been safer traveling alone. Right? I mean, one would think that the danger would be strangers or bears or I don't know what, like some kind of animal, a snake, I don't know. But no, it's literally the guy she was with. Wow. Okay, so there's just a picture, if you haven't seen it before, that they show us, because we hadn't seen this before. We were wondering if they had this, and obviously they were collecting it. Suzanne Smith says, melon boy. I know, right? Melon boy. See, we were always saying snarky things from day one, you guys. Also before that. Before that, I talked a lot about serial killers, because I wrote 4 books on serial killers, and there we also snarked it right up. This guy we called Melon boy. Yes, indeed. I remember those days. So here is a picture, yes, of the van. And then on page 59... There's visitors from Spread Creek. Just a general trigger warning, it's upsetting information because they talk about coming across the campsite and maybe at some point here getting a whiff of human remains, which they thought was a dead animal. Okay, so they say redacted and redacted were interviewed via telephone at phone number. Present for the interview was special agent from the FBI. After being advised of the identity of the interviewing investigator and the nature of the interview, redacted and redacted provided the following information. They arrived at Spread Creek, Wyoming at approximately 10 a.m. on September 5th. So that would be more than a week after Gabby was murdered. They noted that Spread Creek is a campsite that can be found on the Dirt app for free camping. They drove all the way down toward the river to camp. Approaching the campsite, redacted and redacted noticed a hammock and a rope hanging in a tree. Now that sounds very much like the campsite that Brian and Gabby would have. And remember, he left a lot of stuff behind. Her shoes as well. Her body, of course. Oh my goodness. So they found a hammock and a rope hanging in a tree. On the ground was a table with a blue cloth blanket covering it and a floor mat. They took the hammock and table because the items looked abandoned. So it's also interesting. If they did come across the site, they're like, oh, there's a hammock. Okay, cool. And a table. Let's take it. It looks abandoned. I understand because they're camping. But in hindsight, if it was what Brian Laundrie had left behind, damn. That's like it could have been evidence. You know what I mean? So they say redacted and redacted woke up on the morning of September 6th and went fishing upstream. That was on 2021. Gabby's body had not been found yet. It was found on September 19th, okay? They walked in the stream approximately 400 meters until they smelled something. Redacted was an average hunter and believed that the smell was a dead animal. They decided to turn around and head back to the campsite. Obviously, maybe they were also scared of, because there are bears in the area. Maybe they thought if it was a dead animal, rather than go near, because there might be bears around or whatever, predators, right? Shame. But if it was where her remains were, yeah, they could have, of course, called the police there. I'm not blaming them. I'm just thinking of the scenarios, right? So they say they decided to turn around and head back to the campsite. A few hundred yards away, they noticed an unknown male and female along the bank of the river. So this would not be Gabby and Brian. These are other people now. So everything up to that point makes sense. And then they say the two unknown people observed, redacted, and immediately walked back to their vehicle and drive away. They believed the vehicle was a Ford F-350. Upon returning to the campsite, they noticed that the blue cloth blanket and doormat were missing. And then here they say, I'm just checking my pages here. Yeah, okay. Here they say other people were interviewed. Redacted was camping at Signal Mountain Campground with his wife and two other couples from August 20th to 27th of 2021. On the evening of the 26th of August, his wife observed a young female with blonde hair and a tattoo on her arm while in the bathroom of the campground. At approximately 7:30 a.m. on August 27th, Redacted was walking to the campground store and deck in order to get its cell phone service. While walking, a young woman with blonde hair wearing blue jeans and an olive green jacket passed him. When he got to the cell phone reception deck, the same blonde woman was on her phone about 15 meters away. They observed a tattoo on her arm while she was texting on the phone. They did not see her make any calls. The young woman left shortly after he arrived. At approximately 10 a.m., they were at the trash dump station in the campground. They observed a white van that matched the same pictures from the media turning out from the Signal Mountain Campground toward Jackson Hole, which is where they went later that day, or Moose Gate direction. They observed a white male that was identified as Brian Laundrie driving. There was no one in the front passenger seat. They remembered the van because it cut a corner too tight and went up the curb. Okay. I just glanced now at the comments here, and Jean says, PSG, the Patreon of you walking in Zurich was fabulous. So if you guys are on Patreon and you missed that, go check that out, because we did do a walk on 5th Avenue of Zurich, Main Street down Zurich, Switzerland. So that was very fun. If you guys didn't know, if you're only joining now, we are going to have a Patreon-only stream right after the stream, okay? So if you are on Patreon, check your emails or go and check the latest post that I put on there. So now we're on page 61. They talk about visitors here at Grand Teton. Redacted, along with another Redacted, were in the Grand Teton National Park on August 28th. At approximately 11, they arrived at the parking lot adjacent to the abandoned bar, BC Ranch, near Cottonwood Creek, as approached the Snake River. The group were planning to fish in the Snake River. Before they departed, however, they were taking some photos of the Teton Range. While there, they observed what she believed to be the van driven by Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie backed into a parking spot in the lot. Again, up to there, it makes total sense. And then afterwards, they say she saw a male standing near the driver door and a female near the passenger door. The male was wearing a dark t-shirt and shorts, while the female was in light-colored biking shorts and a tank top. So at that point, Gabby Petito was already murdered, especially from what her family's also saying. They believe it happened on August 27th. So I think this could open up some conspiracy theories, perhaps, just like, who's the female? If it was Brian, who's the female? I don't know. Anyway, it wasn't Gabby. But so they say the female was changing her shoes. It appeared as if the pair had just completed a hike. Neither was speaking to the other, which was somewhat noteworthy, unless they got the day wrong slightly, When her and a group departed towards the river at 11:45, the van was gone. They had not seen the van leave or which way it was headed. Okay, so there's that account as well, which again, they're just putting in this document all the witnesses that had called in or that had interviewed and said, gave some credible tips. Some might not be Gabby and Brian, others would be. Hello to Angel Fire. Thanks for being a member for 13 months. Now, we're going to page 66, which would again be photos of the van. I'm quickly going to have to move Gabby here. So here's the picture of the van, Brian Laundrie at a gas station on his long journey home. It's just so eerie to see it because we know what he was doing. That's on August 31st. Do you see that? Tuesday. Making his way home without her. Like this guy. My word. Yep. Okay, so there's pictures of the van. And then, after this, they just show a picture of a convenience store at the gas station to show that Brian Laundrie is not in it. They can't see Brian, they can't see Gabby, so they're showing us the empty store at that time stamp. So now we're going to go to page 93, where they say on September 20th, that's a day after Gabby's remains were found, a federal search warrant was served at, and so they took lots of photographs. That would be at the Laundrie house. Okay, that would be at the Laundrie house. Yes, indeed. So we've got that. Wait, now we're going to go to page 129. There we go. Oh boy, Brian Laundrie's writing. Sunshine on a rainy day. Thank you so much from Australia. Isn't that so early for you? That must be early for you right now, right? Happy, wait, what day is it? Always confuse my days. I'm like, Saturday morning. Happy Monday morning to you. If you're on Patreon, you know. I always confuse the days because, I don't know, I'm always just deep diving this stuff. No idea which day it is usually. Okay, so happy Monday to you. Thank you so much for the sticker. Now, as you can see with this document, unfortunately, a lot of it is not very clear. So that kind of sucks because we can't actually read what they want us to see, But if you do want to screenshot this, I've also posted the document on Patreon and try to, interpret what is being said here. That would be amazing. I actually do have some, which we've got. Just hold on. I just want to quickly find something. Let's just go from here. I know that some Grizzlies have been trying to decode what is written here. Let me just see where this is. The majority. Okay, let's see if it's this one. Like this. Wait for it. Just trying to get the presentation on top of the. Oh yeah. I'm like so confused. I'm like, where is it? Like, we just see this. Okay, so is that the same as this? I'm not sure. Just hold on 1 second. I'm just going to go to the next page. So thank you to Annie P for transcribing this a little bit for us. Is Annie P here? I don't know. Thank you so much. Page 129. Yep, it's this page. So it says something like TV or you. So this is Brian Laundrie's writings, right? So again, thank you so much to Annie P. Look there. That's the writing that Annie took the time to transcribe like this for us. Let me just put it below me so we can actually make it bigger. So it says, TV or you. From a young age, children are programmed. TV shows make them one thing for periods of time. Sports and altruism creates adults who are tortured by the passage of time. TV creates bodies, and then Annie said she puts those X's where you can't really see the word, who don't feel the passage of time. Two people today, one's with motive, others. Active becomes famous, rich, but all in appearance, empty shells. In one of his other writings, he talked about himself as an empty shell, that he really had no home, no life, like no family, which is interesting given how his family like had his back later. But anyway, didn't sound like he liked his home life very much in what he wrote in some of them. And he called himself an empty shell. So they say the difference between those with motivation and the ones without it, there is no difference. Both are empty, searching for meaning, but in reality are just trying to create themselves. This guy, freaking melon boy, all his philosophical crap, even that he posted on Instagram. He says they are just like any animal, nothing godly, nothing spiritual, just standing compost. Wow. Didn't he at some point write that everyone's just like, he had such a weird expression. It was something like, I can't remember, something of flesh, like bags of flesh, or I don't know what. It was so weird. But here he says people are just bags are just standing compost. Okay, if everyone didn't know, we're just standing compost. Okay, what history is interpreted by the present. You can't learn. No matter what you see or read, your brain will interpret what it wants. See what it wants to see. Well, yeah, if you have confirmation bias, if you're open-minded, not so much, Brian Laundrie. That's dumbass. I'm always sorry. He makes me angry. The dead have a light over them. People can point at individuals for being evil, but not groups. Now he's going to talk about lots of terrible things. I can't even say these words on YouTube for real. YouTube will be like, hey. So they say Hitler and the very bad things. Every argument in the world can be won or lost with Hitler and the NAZIS because everyone knows it and most have the same general opinion. Okay, Brian Laundrie, what? Then he says, because it was a very general thing. No specifics. It becomes like every generation was filled with underdogs and heroes. Immigrants in the 40s were so brave. Underdogs being oppressed. Redacted or whatever that says, being not redacted, but unknown what he's saying there, being repressed or being oppressed. He says, by underdogs, I don't mean some sports movie for mouth breathers. I mean, they were the minority. When does the minority become evil? When does it become wrong? Is it their moral compass or merely their numbers? Hitler was one person who made a group to exterminate the inferior. What? If you guys didn't hate him enough already, well, okay, I'm just giving you some more. He said the minority, the oppressed, but Hitler was taking on the world. His group was the minority, the ultimate underdog story. I mean, okay, not me justifying anything, just interesting how the world interprets things. Well, he interprets that guy as the ultimate underdog story. Because people are machines without programming. Houses versus homes are not the same. Some people never have a home. One person versus peoples, singulars versus plurals. Happiness within is like a pilot light. Glorious, Brian Laundrie, that guy, right? Wow. It said, he's compost now. Yeah, he's not even standing compost now. He's just compost now. Okay, so that was page 129. Thank you again to Annie for transcribing that. That was horrendous. Okay, so deep breaths, everyone. Now we're going to go to, we're just going to look at some of the pictures of what they found in the van and in the house, right? So here's an iPhone box. And they also talk about an iPhone. I don't know if they found Gabby's phone or not. Okay? Together we can help prevent fraud and scam. Some kind of envelope. Canyonlands, a lifetime of exploration awaits. Now again, unfortunately, it's very poor quality scans. I wish we could get better quality. If I know who to contact, I will ask because like, what the hell is this? We can't see anything, especially with some of the writings. So you could see, I think this was probably Gabby's bag. There's some of Gabby's stuff here as well in his home, right? This is now a letter that Gabby wrote to Brian. Okay. And so, for that, I do actually, in fact, have, let's just see, did I put it on this presentation as well? I just want to see. No. I've got other things. You see this? Oh, my word. So, hold on one second. I'm going to fetch something. Should be here. Okay. We've got an article which actually helps us read through that letter. This is from globalnews.ca. They say Gabby Petito's heartbreaking love letter to killer Brian Laundrie released. Before she was strangled to death by her boyfriend, Gabby Petito wrote a heartbreaking letter to Brian Laundrie, her future killer, expressing love for him and pleading with him to stop calling her names. The letter, released recently by the FBI, was one of hundreds of never-before-seen documents relating to the sensational case that gripped North America back in 2021. She wrote, "Brian, you know how much I love you. And I'm writing this with love. Just please stop crying and stop calling me names, because we are a team and I'm here with you," she wrote in the undated letter, which has been viewed by Global News. She wrote about an argument they had, apologized for getting upset over a dumb piece of paper, but did not elaborate what the fight was about. She wrote, "Yes, I can be a child sometimes, I know, but it's because you give me this energy, and I just love you so much, like so much it hurts," she wrote in the 2-page undated letter. "So you in pain is killing me. I'm not trying to be negative, but I'm frustrated there's not more I can do." She also promised to help him work on the van when she returned from New York, which could be a reference to the van the couple used to tour the country in the weeks before Petito went missing and was eventually discovered dead. "We can work on the van together, and they are our dreams now," she wrote, before concluding with, "So I hope you understand, when I'm upset, it's because I love you too much. Now, stop crying and come home and say you love me with a big hug." If you don't see another picture of Brian Laundrie, here he is. Oh my. Okay, so we're going to see some of these pictures now. I just wanted to see if there's anything else here. I think that's it there. So that's what this letter says. And doesn't that just, I'm speculating, but there's so often that these abusers will find empaths, people that have a lot of empathy, to nurture them, to feel sorry for them, to try to be there for them, to see that like hurt little boy inside this asshole Brian Laundrie, you know what I mean, and try to fix it or try to be there like, "It's okay, I'll comfort you, I'll be there for you." Unfortunately though, they're abusers. All right, so unfortunately this cost Gabby her life, trying to be there for Brian Laundrie and his sick family. Oh my word. Sorry about that. Okay, so here's pictures that Brian drew. He thought of himself as an artist. He had a Instagram page called Bizarre Design. And now those were some actual artworks that he made, not like how in another case, the Lisk case, there's an attorney speculating about drawings that somebody else made, which she didn't even make herself. Moving on, here he actually made the drawings himself, and they were pretty disturbing because we analyzed them, and remember, he turned out to be a killer. Now here's one that he drew. And when we analyzed it, we realized this guy traces so much. He was basically sitting on his ass, not working. Gabby was working 2 jobs, trying to save money to buy that van. And she said, "These are our dreams now." But it was her working so hard to make those dreams come true. Her dreams, to travel, to document it all, to have a YouTube channel, to have sponsors. She was getting that going. He didn't like it, right? He was trying to tell her, "You can't do it," the whole time. Anyway, here's another, I would say, traced piece of artwork. Now, when he does draw himself, that gets quite disturbing though. Yeah. Black Widow said, "Empaths were created by surviving abusers, in my opinion." I share the opinion, Black Widow. I think empathy is a coping mechanism. Learned very early. Well, for me it was anyway as well. Yeah, to survive abusers. I agree. I think it could be a sign of major trauma, right? Okay, so just speculating. So now we're going over these pages of what they've seen again. Look at the quality of this. Like, hello. Listen here, FBI. If you're going to release something from your vault, could you maybe make it clearer? Can we actually see what you're releasing here or not really, hey? Snarking at the FBI. They're probably like, "What? Well, how are we supposed to read this? We're trying to analyze this and learn, okay?" Here is another, I don't know what, something of his artwork where it says, "Crying. I don't have emotions deprogrammed." Something about, "Cheer up, buddy. Want a beer?" Okay, then. And remember, he talked all about deprogramming in his early little letter there. Right. Black Widow was like, "Snark." Yes. I think snark is an empath's best friend. You got to be snarky sometimes. And if you are an empath, which many in this community are, remember to use that judiciously. As a clinical psychologist told me once, put your empathy in a box. I always use this box as an example. Put it in a box, okay? Here's your empathy. Don't dish that out everywhere. Not everyone deserves it. Put it in a box and use it judiciously, only really when needed. Okay, not everyone deserves that, all right? So you can see here it says Gabby Petito. It's like a card, right? Okay. I think it would be her laptop with all these nice stickers on from all the travels that they did. Lorraine said Brian and Gabby worked, but he worked there before the first trip. And then he was just sitting on his ass doing artwork and she was supporting him. She then worked at a juice bar and Publix and all of that. She was working multiple jobs when he was really just doing art with his bizarre design. Okay, so we've got just pictures of what they found. These are water bottles. As we discovered in the member stream, we were like, what the hell is that? Water bottles? That's right, Blue Bear. It's a good visual way to see it. I always see it like that. Oh, put your empathy in a box. Okay, not everyone deserves that, yeah. Especially not strangers. Careful for the red flags, especially when we learn about coercive control and abuses, yeah. That's a good one. Gonna remember the box for empathy. Yes. Now here is another one of Brian's writings where I cannot see what is written there, but here it says deep breaths, short rests. Wow. Something from a book. They were obviously looking into everything, all the books he was reading, the Chuck Palahniuk. We also looked at all of those. I actually bought one of the Chuck Palahniuk books, never made it through most of it. Takes me forever to read books anyway because I'm always reading true crime documents. So, I'm always like, why can't I read more books? Because I'm always reading documents. I'm always researching. So these are some of the books that he read. I don't see anything too important to share here. They talk about the smell of a new car is the smell of death. Okay. The investigators were quite concerned with his scribbles, his writings, his notebooks, and the books he was reading. Cameras as well that they find. What I assume to be Gabby's shoes. Here as well, clothing of Gabby's. I think this is which case was that? Daniel Howard, huh? I think this is a Victoria's Secret bag. Remember the Daniel Howard trial? How the defense attorney, Mr. Jason Johnson, was always like, aha, Daniel Howard's wife with her Victoria's Secret bag. I think it was a bag like this. Sorry, I just remembered that. If you watch the trial with me, you'll understand what I'm talking about, for how much that was mentioned. These are like, it's wax and stamps. I used to like these a lot when I was younger. Looks like wax sticks and stamps for those beautiful letters that Gabby would write and postcards and things. Again, laptops with stickers. So a lot of the document has pictures and not clear ones, unfortunately. You could see, books, stickers, things like that. Okay. Cormac McCarthy, The Road. I haven't read it. It's a national bestseller. So they were just looking at the books that they were reading or he was reading. James Davies says The Scribbles of a Madman. Yeah, pretty much, right? Never mind his confession notes. Oh, my word. If you're just listening and not watching, I just did air quotes again. Confession. When he admitted to murdering Gabby. But that story was so disgusting and made no sense. As if he said it was like a mercy kill. No. I'm not even going to go through that again. It's on the playlist, right? So we've got this like little Polaroid camera as well. Now we've got a crossbow. Yeah, no wonder Brian was so uptight about the cops checking the van because he had weapons. He had crossbows and weapons, a lot of guns in the van. It sounded like all sorts of things. And he was probably like, oh crap, I don't even know if he had the license for those weapons or not. But the reason this is interesting is because where Gabby's remains were found, 2 arrows were found near her body. What? Stefan said, oh my word, I have the same Fuji Instax. And is it good? Does it take good pictures or what? I think it was Gabby's, that one. So, Blueberry says The Road is a depressing but well-written book about living in an apocalyptic world. Interesting. This, I think, is Gabby's. I think Gabby was a much better artist than Brian Laundrie. Better at everything, right? And so I think this was her book and her writings, but we also can't see too much on it. Jean says, I would love to see you write a book on Rex someday. Unfortunately, I don't write books anymore because then you won't see me. And I don't think we want that. I can only do one or the other. I'm a very like all in type of person. And to write books is really, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. So I just personally can't. I invest too much in one thing or the other. So I'm just here now on YouTube. I evolved from books to a podcast to become a YouTuber. I'm very glad to be here with all of you because this is much more fulfilling to have this interaction versus writing books. And you get what? You get ratings as the interaction. That's the feedback you get, your little star ratings and what people think of your book. No, I don't like that. I like this, where we could talk about cases together, which is why I started a YouTube channel at the end of June 2021. So we're coming up to the 3-year anniversary of my channel. Can you believe it? Anyway, so beautiful drawings here. I think that Gabby made. I just really want to see my page references here. Yeah, okay, so after page 143. Okay, yeah. We're just going through it like this. Goes up to page 210. Yeah, okay. So I'll just keep going like this, and then I've got some more notes here. All right. So is this a phone? I think this is a phone. And then here is that pencil bag we saw. Do you remember the video that Gabby posted on their YouTube channel? The one she made? In the tent was this pencil bag with a picture of her on it with the angel wings, like at that wall. I mean, that's a picture we all know, right? Oh, sorry, I must put her picture back up here. Well, that pencil bag and all her stationery was also pictured, of course. Wow, FBI. The hell's this? How am I supposed to read this? Okay, so Canon cameras. I mean, this looks like a nice camera as well. It's actually looking similar to the camera that I just got. If you guys wonder why you could see me more clearly lately, I got a new camera. I was using a $99 webcam for the first almost 3 years of my channel. And then I finally got a proper camera that looks a bit like this Canon one. It's a Sony though. And now you could see me much more clearly. Okay, so here's the arrows. And they found arrows like this close to Gabby's body, which is very weird. I don't know why that is. I don't know if he left them there or what he was doing. I don't understand why, but that's what they list in this document. Also, pages from a book that he was obviously reading. Very faint writing there. Lists, it looks like. All right. So we're now at the evidence collection photographs phase of this document that we're deep diving. Stickers again and pictures. Now, he also was carrying around this Jehovah's Witness like booklet, which is interesting. Didn't see any of that from him. Right? So he's got this watchtower one, unless they just got it on their trip along the way. That's possible as well. And it was in the bag or whatever. Weapons, okay, and manuals for it. A Glock pistol thing. What is this now? Is this a t-shirt? I'm not 100% sure what this is. If you know, is it a bag? Is it a t-shirt? Looks like Zion National Park, right? Looks like a tote almost, right? Okay. Someone saying, my webcam. When I first started my channel, when you guys watched this case with me, I had a $60 webcam. And then I had a $99 webcam. And now, at least I have a better camera. Still not bougie, but at least you could see me, right? Okay, so I think this is a phone box again. And here is another, this is a GoPro, right? Hero 4. This is a GoPro camera, of course. I mean, Gabby was a content creator, so she had lots of cameras and things, and she was excited about all the social media posts that she was doing and the YouTube channel that she had just launched. This is the book that I bought because we were trying to figure out where the hell in the Appalachian Trail Brian might be. Remember that? Lullaby by Chuck Palahniuk, because Brian was spotted with that book multiple times in their social media posts. Here's also, someone actually sent me, when I still had a PO box, stickers just like this. It's like a bear with beautiful art and everything. That's so nice. Okay, here's another one of these. So, let me just fetch something quickly. I just want to bring this here. It's one of these. So, hold on one second. Somewhere here is another. somewhere on one of these pages it says, about a year ago, I went into a type of mania where I was smashing holes in the wall with my head. This is what Brian wrote, okay? One more time, Brian wrote at some point, undated, about a year ago, I went into a type of mania where I was smashing holes in the wall with my head, kicking through paintings, tearing whatever I was working on, pouring gasoline on myself to burn alive, but getting the lighter wet, parking out in Murderland, listening to Mac DeMarco with a gun to my head, wrestling alligators. I wanted to die, and the weird thing is nothing's changed but the timer's running down. Okay. What? So that's some of what he wrote. Very scary stuff, especially given where he eventually did have a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head, surrounded by alligators, and it was flooded at that time. Remember, that's why they took a while to find his body. All of that. Here also he talks about, I sound like a bitch, but it really has been every day for 2 years. I was working at Publix for about 6 months when it started. I think here he's complaining about how heavy it's been to deal with his mother having cancer, from what I'm understanding from the little bit that I can read there, right? Okay, so now here is more evidence collected. I think that would be Gabby's top. Keep your money safe, Bank of America. This says Gabby Petito. I do wonder why this background, it looks almost like a mattress. I don't know if they found that mattress that they said was missing. Did they find the mattress in the home? Was the stuff on the mattress or not? Did they find it or not? I don't know. Catherine Joy. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. You said you are amazing. Oh, thank you very much. Let me try and make this a little bigger. How about that? Thank you. Miss North Musing says Brian had that vlog. What is it called? Something nomadic. That was not his, from what I remember. No, that was not his. There was a whole lawsuit about that with the former police officer who said nomadic static or something like that. Wasn't it like that? Nomadic static. What was it? There was something about that, but I don't think it was Brian's blog. Anyway, jogging my memory. Shame. This beautiful notebook. There's a backpack as well. I'm assuming there's more cameras, camera stands, tripods, something. More of this writing. What the hell? Listen, FBI. Could you guys just call the FBI and be like, what the hell? No, don't do that. I'm just kidding a little bit. But he also talks about, look at it. It's just like, just a little bit you can see if you like really focus. It's like everything looks like kill a hermit. I don't know what. A hermit? Is he? Well, I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about there. It's a whole load of crap. Lots of ramblings, as someone said, Jamie, of a madman. Here's the Watchtower book as well. Shoes again. I do not know what that is. An item. Gabby Miscellaneous. I think that's what he got from the storage between the 17th and the 23rd. Yeah, he was clearing out storage to save their money, which made no sense to fly home and fly back and whatever. I think this Gabby Miscellaneous must have been a box from the storage unit, right? Okay. Jean says, I wish YouTube. It's not YouTube's fault as well. It's because my membership tier doesn't support it the way that I've structured everything. So that's why. Okay. Sean says Gabby's YouTube channel is called Nomadic Static. Now remember, that's true. That's a good Nomadic Static. That was her YouTube channel. Now there was a page which was used to call Twitter. It's now X, right? That was called Nomadic something, Nomadic Track. And people thought that was Brian Laundrie. Remember that? Again, those were lawsuits out of that. Nomadic Static. Okay. Gabby's YouTube channel. Is it still up there? I actually want to just quickly see. Just hold on one second. Nomadic Static. Oh, wow. It's still up there. Nomadic Static. So it's Nomadic and then Statik. Shame. Gabby's video is still there. It's got 7.2 million views. Posted 2 years ago. If you've never seen it, please do check it out. Yeah, Patricia said it was Nomadic Track. Ooh, remember that? It was so hectic. Because people were like, that's definitely Brian. Okay, that wasn't Brian. That wasn't Brian. So here's more of these writings that we cannot see. Sorry about that. Oh, coins that they collected. Okay, these are, it looks like coins, right? Coins that they were collecting, I would assume. Pictures of planning how to build the van. converting the van, right, to show where the bed's going to be and everything like that. More of the stamps and the wax. Notebooks as well. So if you want to see anything, just pause, or come back to it or whatever if you want to see it at a bit of a slower pace. This was this whole, he thought of, killing himself and all kinds of things. I don't know. There's a lot in here that I wish we could actually see. Because I'm sure it will be quite something to actually read what the hell this guy was writing. Like, what was in his mind? Where was he at mentally? And for how long? Because it doesn't sound like he was too well in the head for a very long time. Okay, so this is a pretty book, hey? It's a decomposition book. Nice notebook there. Here's also some writings. Lots of scribbles from Brian Laundrie. Now we're on page 192 out of 366, and a lot of this, as I say, is pictures like this, which are not very clear. Wish we had it. Clearer pictures. There's a phone, so I don't know. There's a phone. Is that two phones? No, I think this is the case, and this is a phone. Is it Gabby's phone? Did they ever find it? I don't know. Teresa says 3 years. Almost 3 years, yes. I posted my very first video at the end of June of 2021. Annie says, shall I do... Here's Annie. Thank you so much for doing that other page for us. Remember, as we just read what was transcribed, you said, shall I do another page? I'll do it for the Grizzlies. That is so sweet. Oh, man. If you want to, don't feel obligated to, though. So, here's some more pictures. Some of them, I don't know what to say. Clothing, okay. Utah, it says Moab, Utah, Quicksilver, clothing again. It says you remember the darkness. You look up and you see a what? Something filled with stars. Is it a tree? Is it a sky? I don't know. It looks like tree. All kinds of stuff. This guy's always being like very deep, but more like sinister, right? More lists as well. Khaled Husseini and what is it called? A novel. And The Mountains Echoed. Has anyone read this? What is it about? I haven't looked into it much. Books. Brian liked to sit in his hammock and read books, as we saw in many other pictures, right? I'm assuming again these are Gabby's shoes. And then Brian, this was apparently Brian's doing. He had books where you could hide things in them. Okay then. Random items. This is ammunition. Okay, I think they said that was in the garage as well. More writing that we really just can't see. And I've tried to screenshot it and brighten it and do anything I can. I've even used apps where you can, when it extracts the text, it really doesn't make any sense. It comes out like all scrambled and like, oh shame. Even the apps can't do it. Yeah, Kerry said this POS really fancied himself as a deep, brooding, and amazing person who was better than the rest of us. Yes, that's a good way to put it. He did. We saw that from his Instagram post as well. Now, I do not know why he has this, but okay. Are you robbing a bank or what's going on here, bro? Here's again, it says books. Books and things, books. Okay. Again, it could be from storage. Some shoes. Firearm bill of sale. It says Brian C. Laundrie. Brian Christopher Laundrie. Can't see a date. It looks like 2017 here. Jean says, was that all in the van? I actually didn't find much of Gabby's personal items in the van from what they list later. So I think this was more in his room. I think things were taken out of the van and put in the room. So it was more at the house, because this was from a search warrant at his house. Of the van, yes, and at the house. Again, all kinds of stuff in the garage. This is one of his pages that says, I mean, I don't know if this side is intentional, what's going on here, but here it says, trust no one, and then it says, kill, 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 kill on this page. Like, okay then. Again, if someone was drawing that and committing no crimes, that's one thing. Art can be expressing trauma, it could be expressing just whatever it is. that's not a crime. But once, like Brian Laundrie killed someone, now you look back and you're like, holy crap, look what he drew here. Trust no one, kill, 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 kill. Like, okay, what was in this guy's head? Right? So, again, we've got all these items. We're almost done with it. I'm just going to show you quickly like this. And then we're going to go through a list as well of what they list here. So, Choke is one of the books, which, of course, it's Choke, a novel by Chuck Palahniuk. That was his favorite author. That's also what they talked about. And, of course, given people make a big deal of that because he strangled Gabby Petito, right? Okay, so just stay with me because we're going to get to some lists in a moment. This is now page 218 from 233 is going to list vehicle evidence. So just hold on 1 second. We've got more GoPros. We've got more books, Anansi Boys, pages. It's so interesting how they found, I don't know if it was highlighted. It doesn't look highlighted. But did they look at specific pages and photograph that? Unless it was just left open. And they're like, this page is interesting. Look at this. We can't see anything. And now we're going to page... So it says a search warrant was issued in the state of Florida, the 12th Judicial Circuit, on September 14th. That's before Gabby's body was found. Was executed at the Northport Police Department at approximately 4:45, and it's all the things that they found there. So we're going to go to page 233 here. Okay. And it says evidence recovery log. So they say description, 3 photographs, where found, visor. Okay, 3 photographs, visor, a black iPhone model, iPhone 7 model. Now, again, I don't know whose phone that is. Was it Gabby's? Was it Brian? Did they find the phone? I don't know. iPhone box as well. They also talk about finding a fingernail in the door panel. Shame. My goodness. And then, where's that other one? Wait, that was page 233. Now we go to page 237. Which says, note, very little clothing in the vehicle, no pillows, tent, no drone or photography equipment. So they're implying that, whoa, things were, the van wasn't just driven there and parked there. They kind of emptied out the van. Did the parents help clean the van? Remember how stickers were added? Oh my word, that was so weird. Do you remember how we compared stickers at the back of the van? Oh, okay, wow. And here again, they say mattress missing. So if you want to pause to read all the other stuff, I'm just highlighting what might be interesting. You know, they say visible staining on the driver's side seat. So I don't know if that's from him, sitting there for the entire drive home or what the staining is all about. I don't know. I don't want to know. So here's observations as well. Nothing to report back there. So that was page 237 and 8. And now we're going to 243. Which here they say the subject or vehicle owner, Gabrielle Venora Petito, and her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, left from New York State sometime in mid-June of 2021 for a vacation to Utah, traveling to a variety of national parks along the way. While they were on their trip, they documented some of the events on a YouTube video, Van Life Beginning Our Van Life Journey. That's on the Nomadic Static channel. And shame, the only video that Gabby ever made and posted. And it was so good. It was so good. Oh my goodness. Like, even though I've been a content creator now here on YouTube for 3 years, that video is so good. The songs, the way they edited it, everything, the way it was done. She was very talented. So they say during the trip, the subject sent almost daily text messages and had many phone call conversations with, which is redacted, I would assume with her mom, with her parents. During these conversations, there appeared to be more and more tension between the missing subject and Laundrie. Okay. On 8/12, so that's the 12th of August with that traffic stop, right, in Moab. A report was generated by the Moab City Police Department, Moab, Utah, referenced a domestic disturbance between the subject and Laundrie. In the report, they wrote, after evaluating the totality of the circumstances, I do not believe the situation escalated to the level of a domestic assault as much of that of a mental health crisis. Yes, for Brian especially. Oh my word. They missed that. So the message, okay, wait. Laundrie also told the, wait. Okay. Officer stated that the subject was having a severe case of anxiety per the subject's testimony on scene. Laundrie also told the responding officers that he was concerned about the subject because her anxiety had worsened during the extended trip. Oh yeah, like he's not the red flag, right? On August 27th of 2021, the subject's mom received an odd text from her. The text message said, can you help? And that's been redacted, but we know it from then. Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls. The reference to Stan was regarding her grandfather, which per her mom, the subject never called by his first name, and she was now very concerned that something was wrong. This was the last communication anyone had with the subject. Her cell phone was no longer operational. She stopped posting anything on social media about their trip. Per her mom, this was not normal behavior for the subject, and they became even more worried about her. On September 11th, the subject was entered as a missing person by the Suffolk County Police Department in New York. Suffolk County. We know about them a lot because of, obviously, the Long Island serial killer case, Rex Heuermann. Based on the reports from the Moab City Police report, it appears the subject is also in danger due to mental health concerns. On September 11th, the subject's van, a white Ford Transit bearing Florida tag, was located at address Brian Laundrie's parents' house in Northport, Florida. Per the license plate reader installed at the Sumter Boulevard exit of Interstate 75, her vehicle entered the city of Northport on, and we always wanted to know the exact time, right? On September 1st of 2021 at approximately 10:26 a.m. The subject was not at the residence and whoever, Brian, did not know her whereabouts. Right. Eileen said, was the female officer body cam ever released? Plunder has it. I think she posted on Patreon. She showed a bit on her channel. Plunder is a YouTuber, and she, after it's like years of FOIA request, Brian Enton was also trying to get it. He actually drove out there before to try to get it. I think Plunder has that. Because I remember watching that. I didn't learn too much that was new. I really thought we'd learn more about it because they kept it so secretive. It wasn't that big of a deal, but yes, Plunder does have that. So they talk about did not know her whereabouts. Did not know her whereabouts. Liar. Redacted, speak with law enforcement, directed the officers on scene to speak with. Brian Laundrie was not seen at the address either, and it could not be verified who drove the subject's van back to Florida. Oh, he was hiding out at that point. They're like, I don't know even where Brian is. Yeah, right. Now they say on 9/12/21, an emergency ping was requested for the subject's cell phone through tmobile.com, which yielded negative results. The ping showed the subject's cell phone was not working within the last 48 hours. And here they say her cell phone has been turned off for approximately 15 days, and there's been no sightings of her since August 27th of 2021. There's also no cooperation from her boyfriend, Brian Laundrie, which has also added to the exigency to search her vehicle, which may lead to her whereabouts. So we've got that. That was page 244. Now we're going to page 281. Evidence collected item log. So you could see there's a lot of, and it's in the van and in the home and everything because they had a search warrant at the house. They went there many times. They carried out many things. Right? So we saw that. We were all watching that. Like, oh my word. Remember all those streams? Just like, what are they doing? What are they carrying out? Where's Gabby? What's going on? So shell casings, all these weapons, a Monarch sleeping bag, does that say Kelty? Tent, yellow and gray. Watchtower, Jehovah's Kingdom magazine, which again, they could have just got along the way. Someone may have given it to them. I don't know. A white binder containing Polaroid photos of Gabby and Brian, blue and white blanket, phone numbers on paper. Now here it says classic cars calendar, dates and notes. August 18th, Brian arrives. I can only assume that's Roberta Laundrie's calendar. Berta is writing Brian arrives on her calendar. That's after he left August 17th and went home for a week to do who knows what, clear out storage. Brian's SS card, birth certificate, receipts of firearms purchased in Brian Laundrie's name, a black notebook containing cell phone account information, and then a flower address book with phone numbers and cell phone account info and passwords, a Garmin with a charger, and then again, calendar notates dates involving Brian's trips. She was documenting what her baby boy was doing. Seems like this mother was really, really a bad over-coddler. Remember the burn after reading letter? What in the hell was that? I don't know if you guys saw any of the interviews that Gabby Petito's mom and dad and stepmom and stepdad did because they were at CrimeCon. They read some victim impact statements there as well. I'd love to actually read everything they said there. I think, that must have been great to hear everything they said. Gabby's mom said she forgives Brian Laundrie, but Roberta, she's got no time for Roberta. She's just going to forget her, just like forget all about her. And Gabby's dad actually said he doesn't forgive Brian at all. Okay. But for Gabby's mom, she said it's healing to just forgive and move on. It's the way that she can move forward. Now, what was I trying to say? The burn after reading. Oh, they had a shirt on that said like burn after reading. I love that snark. I love that. That was a crime con. So, yes, Berto's calendar notates dates involving Brian's trips. A black hardcase suitcase of female clothing. A black Victoria's Secret pink duffel bag with sweaters and a sleeping mat inside. Don't let Daniel Howard's attorney find out about that. He'll make a whole case out of it. If you don't know, go check out the Daniel Howard trial. That was really quite a riveting trial with lots of twists and turns, my word. A grey yoga mat. Now, I was wondering, someone on Patreon pointed out that there was infant clothing somewhere, and I'm like, where? Now I see it. That's why I highlighted it. So it just says blue flower suitcase containing female and infant clothing. We don't know if that is actually Gabby's or not, or Brian's sister, or if it's just left over there, or I don't know if Roberta was just keeping Brian Laundrie's baby clothes. Who knows? I don't know. But now I understand why people were pointing that out, because I'm like, where? I don't see it. It's on the list. A blue flower suitcase containing female and infant clothing, postal receipts, black flower backpack containing female clothing, and just items, as we've seen, right? The drones and everything there. I just highlighted what I thought you might find of interest. 3 books, Lullaby, Choke, and Consider This. And then USPS envelope containing brochures and maps from the trip. They did a lot of map time there. A purple iPhone 11 in a white iPhone box. Again, I don't know if that was Gabby's or not. Mary, yes, we went over that at the time. Can you help Stan send the authorities now? Could be, but it could have also been Brian just being freaking weird, right? Jean's like, baby boy clothes. Maybe it was Berta's floral bag with Brian Laundrie's baby boy clothes. Okay, so now we looked at that page. Now we're going to go, we're almost done. Page 306 is probable cause, which is about the search warrant, because at that point they're like, whoa, what the heck is going on here? And so they talk about the target residence, which that wording, obviously, they would say it like that, but it just reminds me of the Rex Heuermann probable cause affidavit and that bail application where they're like target residence. The target residence here was Brian Laundrie's parents' house. And so they say during the execution of the search warrant for the target residence, investigators observed additional items that are themselves evidence of murder in the special maritime and territorial jurisdiction of the United States. Investigators found firearm ammunition, incriminating statements in a journal, and sketches in a sketchbook. So putting that all together, like, what the hell happened here? This guy's weird. They were red flagging Brian Laundrie. So that was page 306. Now we go to page 308. Oh, you also had these like knuckle rings, and they talk about investigators found approximately 115 rounds of Gecko 357 Magnum ammunition in 3 ammunition boxes. 2 of the 3 boxes had been opened, were missing rounds. 1 box contained 38 rounds, and the other contained 27 rounds. Here are photographs of the ammunition. There's like knuckle rings and ammunition, and to think of this guy and the state his mental health was in, which doesn't sound good at all. The amount of weapons he had and the crossbows and everything is pretty dangerous. And the books he was reading and what he was feeding that sick brain of his, oh my word, not good, not good. So talk about that. Okay, wait. Now we're going to page, what's on 308? 308. It says here, target residence. Also, during the search of the target residence in a bedroom that, according to, I guess, Roberta, was Laundrie's before. Now again, remember Roberta, the whole burn after reading letter? She tries to muddy the waters of when she wrote that. I think she wrote it when he went home between the 17th and the 23rd. It would make the most sense. Put it in his baggie, like, this is for you. Sure, because it was found, without stamps and in his bag, I think in the van, actually. Okay. She said burn after reading. He didn't do that. He could not follow simple instructions. But anyway, here they say, according to, I would assume, Roberta was Laundrie's the room before his road trip with Petito. Investigators found a journal. Now, she kind of jippoed the dates of her burn after reading letter, and here we see the same pattern, which I find interesting. They say, in it were various handwritten notes and writings. On one of them, the author wrote the following. My real options are to run off entirely on my own, buy a piece of land, or kill myself. Under the mattress I'm on, there is a loaded .357 Magnum revolver. A pull of the trigger and all of my problems will be over. Above this entry was a date written October 26th of 2018. What? And if so, damn. What is going on around that date then? But then they say, based on my training and experience and my specific knowledge about this investigation, I have probable cause to believe that this statement was written by Laundrie based upon my knowledge about the investigation, to conclude my knowledge of deceptive actions that Laundrie has taken in the past several weeks, I have reason to question the accuracy of the date listed above this journal entry. See? Investigators were like, interesting note, we're not buying the date. Okay, so that was that page there. We've got probable cause and the journal. Brian's art. Oh my. Part of that sketchbook was this poor Brian, you know, always the wounded animal. Look at him, just there, feeling like half wolf, half boy, because he actually had drawn stuff like this on his Instagram that he posted as well. So it's a common theme we've seen with him. We've got some, I don't know, they look like pears to me because the shape, it could be apples. Look at all of these funny little apples on the tree. And here he's just like an arrow. Interesting, because he's the one with the crossbow. He's the one that allegedly left arrows near Gabby's body. Okay. But there he is with his arrow in his stomach, just being like, oh my word, the wounded animal, shame. Aaron says, gee, you've worked so hard on this document. Yes, for you guys. Thank you so much. So, a drawing by Brian, undated. Then there was this drawing. Now, initially, when we did a member stream, we looked at it a little bit, and we were wondering, is it Gabby's hands? This says let it be. But actually, when you look at it more closely, this would be Brian's art representing. It's artwork that he drew, now not sketching clearly. This would be his arm. This would be Gabby's arm and hand, let it be. This is like a little pulse beating here. So it's as if, I don't know what, the two of them together equals life and death or what? Till death do us part, huh? Murderer, this guy, oh my word. There's a rose on this side and a rose on this side. I don't know what's going on in here. Is this like woods? Is this where he left it? I don't know what it represents. So if you see his side of things, there's like milkshakes and who knows what the hell all this is and CDs. This looks like a rear view mirror and something dangling over here from probably the van, right? This is almost like it's like the trip. It's like a picture of looking out while they're in the van, but it's like this tragedy, like Romeo and Juliet, which is total bullshit. This guy is a complete liar, deviant aggressor, and killer. Nice little story, bro. No. Just a murderer, and probably because she wanted to leave him, because the most dangerous time in a domestic violence situation is when you want to leave. Maybe at that point she was like, I've just had enough. I'm just done. Because she'd put in everything, all her time, energy, her heart, her soul, and sacrificed so much to be with him. Forgiven him for so much, even when he abandoned her to go home to clear out the storage unit. And then he came back on August 23rd, and within 4 days, she was murdered. Maybe she had some thinking time. You know, they're like, wow, I spent a week without him. That was amazing. Like, I really, like, this is over, bro. You see? But anyway, this freaking drawing of his, it just makes me so mad. I don't know what all else is here. I saw that JB from WFLA posted this picture as well on X and asked people what they see, and it's just interesting what everybody sees with this. So if you want to go chip in there, it's still out there, that post on X, right? Sheila says, nobody sees a candle? Where do we, I don't know. I haven't overanalyzed it. It could be, you know, there's so much to see here, but he's pretty dumb in my opinion. Not going to read too much into it, and he's delusional. So here they say investigators located Petito's remains on September 19th of 2021 in the Bridger-Teton National Forest in Wyoming, near Petito's body. And why? Because of red, white, and Bethune in the dashcam footage. YouTubers, family, handing over the dashcam footage and be like, we saw her van. We know where that van last was. And so they went to that area, looked for Gabby, found her remains, right? Near Petito's body, investigators found a revolver speed loader containing ammunition. Investigators at the scene of Petito's remains have not been able to open the speed loader and gain additional information about the revolver ammunition inside it, which is, maybe it was something that was just there, you know, like something old in the area. I don't know. Revolver speed loader with ammunition located near the human remains believed to be Petito. Also near Petito's body, investigators found 2 arrows. And we've seen Brian's little drawings with his arrows. We've seen his crossbow and we've seen his arrows. So that was probably his. Petito had a tattoo on her forearm that read, let it be. Due to the condition of Petito's remains, the cause and manner of death, they did eventually determine that. Remember when the coroner made his own video to tell everyone that it was that she was manual strangulation, right, is how she died. And he talked about that, and then he was, I think, fired. Remember that he was let go, and we were like, wait, what? That case was so hectic, right? Okay. Oh, you guys are saying maybe a candle under the hands. I don't know. If you blow it up, this picture, and make it lighter and all that, to me it looks like, and people are saying on X as well, more like forests or something. It could be a candle. This does look a little bit like a flame. Oh, man. Does he think they're like twin flames or something? No, he's a killer. She was the victim. We're almost done with this document. We're page 312, and then we're going to go to 314. That's the conclusion. 314. On October 20th, this is now when they find Brian Laundrie's remains. 2021 members of the Tampa Division Evidence responded after like a month. Do you remember that? Oh my word. They had all those, all the teams out there. Search teams searching for Brian high and low. But the area was flooded at the time, that preserve. They didn't find him. And then later, ironically, his parents were like, oh, okay, when they opened the park, they're going there at 7 in the morning. Ta-da, they found a bag. Look, it's a baggie belonging to him, and there's a notebook in it. It was so weird. Okay, but anyway, close to where the baggie was found, they found Brian Laundrie's skeletal remains. We went over that entire autopsy report. So if you didn't see that, and what was found where, and the flippy floppies, and the belt, and the, all the things, and these little box with all these bits of crap, and his little confession, yeah, go check out that video if you do want to have a deep dive on this whole scene. But just wanted to tell you, it was on October 20th of 2021, they found his remains. There we go. They said approximately, that looks like 0808 Northport Police Department located a white bag. No, his parents did. Within like half an hour of being in there. They're like, we're just going to go on a walk. But they went to one of his favorite spots. They're like, oh, there's a bag. And they picked it up. Remember how dodgy that was? Oh, my word. That was quite something. So that is, everybody, that's the document. That's what we have. The rest is just search warrants and things that really would be of no interest to you. Is applying for things with, the results not back. So we don't need to see that right now. And so I think we worked our way through there. I'm quickly going to go here and just see if I had anything else lined up for you. I actually did want to show you this, which is one more time, just a little bit of that map time. I just want to see, like, oh, well, okay, here we go. This Myakkahatchee Creek, remember at the time, whoa, when I covered this case, that was a hard word to say. Everybody was struggling with that. It was like Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park. Brian Laundrie was actually found, I remember this, here he was found, like his remains were found. Wait, we got to find it. It's actually this one, isn't it? This odd shaped one. Here. His remains were found here. Okay. So, yeah, that's this big slough canal. I used to say slough, and people are like, slough. It's slough. Okay, slough. It was found there, and there were all these theories of how he got there from his home and all of that. Here's the Laundrie home. That's where he was found. He went there in that, what vehicle was it again? Wait for it. It was like an MK what? That little silver car that was Roberta's, and she went to fetch the car. Brought that car back home. And they're like, I don't know where he went. What? Yeah, so Florida. We became very familiar with that area. And you could see he was driving all the way from Wyoming over here. All the way from over here. That's where, this is exactly where, I still have this pin from then. The van was found at the Spread Creek Dispersed Camp in Wyoming, right? And this is exactly where Red, White, and Bethune drove along, spotted that van. Remember, we were all saying the van door looks like it's closing. It looks like there's someone in that van alone and all of that. And then across the creek, which Brian Enton also went out there later to walk across, and the real Gon Gonzo, if you guys know him as well, went across there. And this is where Gabby's remains were found, on this side. Shame. Just out here in nature where they'd been camping across the creek. He left her just there, right? He left her there, and then he went, by the way, he went like, where's this other Colter Bay area? Look, here's the Snake River. He went all along here and went on a hike, and then got a ride back to this campsite and left in her van and went home. If you guys didn't know, in the Delphi case, I've had Cop Facts on my show before. And I've also had the Real Gone Gonzo on. He's got a YouTube channel called Real Gone Gonzo, right? And remember, there were 2 stone like memorial sites for Gabby, one right where her body was found and one right by the water. The one by the water, Real Gone Gonzo had put there. I don't know if you knew that. I was like, that's amazing that he was there and put that there, because we all wondered. Peggy, welcome. Okay, so we've done that map time. We've looked at the article. What is this? Oh yeah. This was that. This was the last seen footage of Gabby alive on August 27th, and this was at a grocery store. Hey, they've still got the old Law and Crime logo there. So here Brian's driving. August 27th, last known footage of Gabby on her last day alive. My goodness. So we're just going to quickly look at this, and then I think we're done with the document and recapping this case and going over what was new now. I think there's still a lot of questions. I personally have. There's still many things that are like, wait, what? So many things we wonder about. But yes. I'm just going to go forward a little bit here. There, Brian Laundrie gets out. Look how he slammed the door. Do you see that? Look at this. Freaking asshole, this guy. I'm going to swear now at Brian Laundrie. We've seen this before. It's on the playlist as well. So if you didn't see it, it's there. I just wanted to show it to you again. So now he's there in the back of the van, Mr. Controlling, There's Gabby. Shame, man. Okay, so this video, it's about 9 minutes long. I'll actually link it for you, right? Because we watched it before. I just wanted to show you there. They're walking. Look at her. Shame, man. Jean says, I've seen the Real Gone Gonzo. It's pretty cool. Yes. Oh, sorry. I just want to move the chat down a little bit. There you go. Yeah, she doesn't look happy or comfortable at all. And he looks like a complete... Now in hindsight, of course. I wouldn't judge a book by its cover in general. But when it's a killer, I'm like, ooh, full snark. So, yeah, here's Gabby walking around. There he is, just looking so freaking annoyed, right? So as I say, this video we watched before. If you've never seen it before, I'm going to link it for you so that you could check it out. Here's Gabby here. Oh, sorry, she's behind me here. Just looking at some cheese, I think it is. And then they leave. They drive off, and that's the last anyone saw of Gabby. There they go. That's the last she was ever seen alive. Shame, man. Okay. So I'll make sure that I link that for you. Thank you for being here to study this document with me. I really appreciate it. Please like and share. Hashtag her light remains. Hashtag Gabby Petito as well. Her parents are also on X if you want to, send them a message or show support or repost their posts as well. So I often do that as well because they share lots of missing persons cases. What I'm going to do now, I wonder where that is. Just hold on 1 second. I want to just quickly find this for you. I want to just play a tribute as my outro here for Gabby, which we made before. All the Grizzly patrons at the time put together, like, they took little videos of candles and lights because it was this her light remains, theme that her parents had. So just hold on 1 second. I'm just uploading it quickly. Sean says, Gabby looks so scared in that footage. Her body language with the arms crossed is heartbreaking. It really is, right? It really is. Remember to teach people the DV distress signal, right? Now, I'm not saying it would have necessarily... I don't know. I'm just saying, imagine if Gabby knew the signal and was able to show anyone, like, hello, like, even in that store, you know what I mean? If she felt, like, really that she was unsafe. Stephanie, welcome. Okay, before I play this clip for you as my outro here, I just want to say, if you are on Patreon, we're going to have a Patreons or a patrons only stream right now after this live stream, okay? So make sure you go to Patreon, see the latest post. You can find the link over there because you're not going to get a notification for it. It's over there, okay? So I hope you will come to that live stream. All right, everyone, let me play this for us. I'm just going to take myself off the screen a second here.